before we go, should we talk just briefly about how Susan Wojcicki died? Maybe I should just look this up.
It said lung cancer, and I didn't read the article there on Zero Hedge. You told me about it, and I just saw the headline.
Susan Wojcicki, former YouTube CEO and Silicon Valley visionary, dies at 56. And she stepped down from YouTube a couple years ago, at least a year ago. Was it 2 years ago? It might have been 2 years ago. Back when I was still doing okay, but not great. I mean, under her leadership, I was put through, suspension after suspension covering COVID. So she was definitely not leading YouTube into a world of free speech, but I didn't know why she stepped down. At the time, it was like, was there all this pressure on her about how she was running the company? Everybody's asking all these questions. Like, was it just this like several years of intense censorship, and she's like unpopular? And so finally she's like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I actually remember doing a video about this. Like, she just kind of give up and say, I don't want to do this anymore. But this is perhaps the reason that she had lung cancer and she was sick and she left. And I have no ill will towards Susan. I don't want it to come across that way. Rest in peace. I feel terrible for her family, and I don't know. There's a lot out there, people questioning somebody that young getting lung cancer and the stuff we've been hearing over the last few years. But I think speculating is not helpful because, people on the other side will say, oh, you died of this because you didn't take our medical intervention. They always blame that. So the speculation is probably not a good idea. But yeah, that's, she's got, I think, 5 kids. She's only 56. Yeah.
I don't know, but I do know what's the modern trope. I want to spend more time with my family. Usually means they're compromised or they're sick when they step down from a position like that.
Yeah. Well, and she was young to run the company. Right. Okay, here we go. In 2023, so it was a year or so ago, she would step down from her role to start a new chapter focused on my family, health, and personal projects. I took on each challenge that came my way because it had a mission that benefited so many people's lives around the world, finding information, telling stories, and supporting creators, artists, and small businesses. I'm so proud of everything we've achieved. It's been exhilarating, meaningful, and all consuming. I wonder about that too. Like, here she is at the World Economic Forum, giving your whole life to like a particular project. And then, even people like Susan Wojcicki die. And I think when I was very young, this really is part of, I think, one of the main questions I've had ever since I was a little kid. My parents are doctors, and I used to go to the hospital quite a bit with them, whether like a babysitter couldn't show up or maybe they just wanted to bring me and torture me so I could see all the sickness and death at a young age and, wouldn't smoke or whatever it was. But I saw all these people that were at the end. And at a very young age, I realized that whether you were Susan Wojcicki or you're like somebody who, can't even afford to barely keep your power on, like, we're all going to end up in the same place. There's no way out of here that you can buy yourself, like Elon Musk and some other, you hear, or the guy who started PayPal. There's all kinds of like, just if you could just get big enough, rich enough, own space, leave a name. And obviously this is a human condition that's as old as humans are. Like, and so you just think to yourself, every time at least I do, when somebody like Susan Wojcicki dies, like, it kind of makes me reevaluate, like, what is it all about? That's what I used to ask myself when I was a little kid. I mean, what is the point of all of this? It certainly can't be running YouTube or going to space or whatever. These are all transitory, short term, and we're all going to just be rotting in some well, unless you get cremated, I guess. But
I'm glad you picked up on that picture, though. I missed it. For NPR to pick that picture of her addressing the World Economic Forum, that's funny to me. That's why I was laughing, is because once you pointed that out, it was like, That's the picture that NPR put up. Not any of her press conferences, not any of this. No, it was her at the WEF.
Why does that make you take pause?
Well, it doesn't make me take pause. It just made me laugh because
why?
They wanted to make sure they knew that you knew she was on the right side of things, I guess.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's an in memoriam photo. So yeah, like you're right.
At national public radio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I wish your family the best. Even with all the issues, I'm still grateful to have a platform. Even with all the issues on YouTube, I'm still grateful to have the platform itself. I'll keep speaking there until I decide that it's just not worth the hassle anymore. But
so yeah. How many subscribers away are you from opening your play button?
Unfortunately, I've had a few videos do pretty well over the last few weeks, so I started to gain subscribers again. So I'm not anywhere near opening my play button.
Maybe your gold one, maybe your million one.
Funny, I will never get to that, but funny that the AC guys, when they were here, they noticed my YouTube box and they were like, "Is that a silver play button?" I said, "Yeah," and they're like, "You do YouTube? You got 100,000 subscribers?" Like, yeah. But then when they couldn't fix the AC, I was like, I don't have time to talk to you guys, so I'm out of here. It was all fun and games while you were fixing the AC. When you figure you couldn't fix the AC, I'm like, I gotta get back to work. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. It was very nice of them. I love the AC repair guys. I got no ill will towards them. I need them. They've got to come back. Please come back.
Whoever you are, of all the guys you need to be nice to, it's the AC repair guy.
Yes. Yeah, if you guys figured out who I am after being here and you're watching this, I love you. Come back anytime. If you are somebody who's been considering moving your IRA or your 401k into precious metals, it's a great way to support the show. You can text Alison to 989898 and get some information from Birch Gold. They've been in the business over 2 decades, help thousands and thousands of people decide whether this is right for them. You're considering diversifying and you don't just want to diversify into chickens who only lay 1 egg every 4 days, like our chickens, which is apparently that is now the case. And we got one 4 days ago, and then Lynn found one yesterday. So, hey, we have 2 eggs. And anyway, no pun intended, if you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, you can go to Birch Gold and get information about this. You will learn how you can move physical gold and silver into a tax-sheltered retirement account, diversify your old IRA or 401k for no money out of pocket. One thing you can do to secure your family savings, text Alison to 989898. You'll get a free, no obligation info kit. Go send me some mail, P.O. Box 3355, Denellen, Florida 34432. You can help with my psychological margin by just sending me notes of encouragement, or my monetary margin by sending me a donation for the show. Got this very nice card here, a bowhead whale from Joe. Thank you, Alison, for all the great information. You really are a bright light in a world of darkness. Wishing the best for you and your family. Keep up the good work. And I just love those cards. The producers get to open them on the way home. So it's a lot of fun. P.O. Box 3355, Denellen, Florida 34432. And you can join Locals, AlisonMara.locals.com. $5 a month to put in questions ahead of time for interviews.